Before you spend another penny, stop. Because the next coin sitting quietly in your pocket, your change jar, or an old family collection could be hiding a story that most Americans never discover until it's too late. Every single day, rare wheat pennies worth thousands of dollars are accidentally spent, forgotten, or thrown into coin machines because they look just like ordinary 1-cent coins. But collectors know a different truth. Some of these old pennies have become legendary treasures, and demand for exceptional examples continues to attract serious attention. Welcome back to Hidden Coin Millions, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures that millions of people overlook every single day. Today's countdown features 4 ultra-rare wheat pennies that have fascinated collectors across the United States. One of these coins has surprised owners with remarkable auction results when the right condition and collector demand came together. Could one of these rare pennies already be waiting in your collection? Don't skip a single second, because every coin in today's countdown reveals another clue that could completely change the way you look at old pocket change forever. Stay until the end, because the final coin is the one many collectors dream about finding. If you love rare coins, hidden history, and incredible discoveries, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Coin Millions, because we bring you fresh coin treasure stories and collector updates every single day. Now, let's begin with coin number 1. Coin number 1. Our first hidden treasure is the 1934 wheat penny with no mint mark. A coin that quietly entered circulation during one of the most difficult periods in American history. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this historic 1-cent coin was released while the United States was recovering from the Great Depression. Millions of Americans handled these pennies every day without imagining that decades later, carefully preserved examples would become highly desirable among collectors. This coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it the classic bronze appearance that collectors instantly recognize. On the front, you'll find Abraham Lincoln's portrait, a design that has represented American coinage for generations. The reverse displays the famous twin wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent, a timeless design that gave these coins their popular nickname, wheat pennies. Although millions were originally struck, time has changed everything. Most examples were heavily circulated, worn, cleaned, damaged, or melted, making attractive survivors increasingly difficult to locate. Now, here's where the excitement begins. At first glance, a 1934 wheat penny without a mint mark may seem ordinary. But experienced collectors know that condition can completely transform its desirability. A coin with rich original color, sharp lettering, clear wheat lines, strong details on Lincoln's portrait, and only moderate wear immediately attracts far more attention than a typical circulated example. Even small details, such as smooth surfaces, appealing eye appeal, and minimal damage, can make a tremendous difference when collectors evaluate a coin. The beautiful brown color described for this example tells another part of the story. Over many decades, copper naturally develops different shades depending on how it was stored and protected. Collectors often appreciate attractive, even color because it reflects the coin's long journey through history. When those natural brown tones are paired with a genuine, very fine level of preservation, the coin becomes much more appealing than an average survivor. Collector demand for wheat pennies remains strong because they combine American history, classic design, and the excitement of searching through everyday collections. Many hobbyists continue checking old jars, inherited coin albums, estate sales, and bankrolls, hoping to uncover overlooked examples. That constant search helps keep interest in these coins alive year after year. Now comes the moment many viewers have been waiting for. A 1934 wheat penny with no mint mark in very fine condition matching the description we've discussed, can have an estimated collector market value of around $17,600 under the scenario provided for this video. Actual selling prices depend on authentication, grading, eye appeal, provenance, and real market demand at the time of sale. That's exactly why collectors recommend having exceptional coins professionally examined before assuming their value. If you believe you've found a similar coin, resist the temptation to clean or polish it. Cleaning can permanently reduce collector interest and may significantly affect its desirability. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges, place it in a protective holder, and compare its details with reliable references. If it appears unusually well preserved or possesses characteristics that stand out, professional grading is often the safest next step. This remarkable wheat penny reminds us that history doesn't always announce itself with bright colors or flashy designs. Sometimes, a small copper coin quietly carries decades of American heritage and becomes a treasured collectible admired by enthusiasts across the country. And remember, this is only the beginning of today's countdown. The next wheat penny reveals an even more fascinating story that many collectors never expect. Stay with Hidden Coin Millions, because fresh rare coin discoveries and collector updates arrive here every single day, and you never know which forgotten coin could become your next unforgettable find. Coin number 2. Now it's time for coin number 2, and this is where today's countdown becomes even more exciting. Sitting quietly in old collections, forgotten drawers, inherited coin albums, and dusty jars across America is a coin that has survived more than a century of history. The 1910 wheat penny with no mint mark is far more than an ordinary 1-cent coin. It is a remarkable survivor from the early days of the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series. Every scratch, every shade of brown, and every sign of age tells a story that stretches back over 100 years, making this coin one that collectors never ignore. The year 1910 was a fascinating time in American history. Just 1 year earlier, the Lincoln Cent had been introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, becoming the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. The 1910 issue continued that historic tradition and was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it carries no mint mark. Millions entered circulation, but after more than a century, finding original examples with attractive surfaces has become much more challenging than many people realize. Like other wheat pennies of its era, this coin was struck from 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving it the classic bronze composition admired by collectors. The obverse proudly displays Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases the famous twin wheat ears surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This elegant design remained a symbol of American coinage for decades and continues to captivate collectors around the world. At first glance, many people would mistake a 1910 wheat penny for nothing more than an old, worn cent. That is exactly why hidden treasures continue to slip through everyday hands unnoticed. Experienced collectors know that age alone is not enough. What truly matters is the combination of originality, eye appeal, preservation, and authenticity. Even a naturally aged brown example can become highly desirable when it retains pleasing surfaces, readable details, and the unmistakable character that serious collectors appreciate. The rich brown layer on this coin is part of its remarkable journey through history. Copper naturally changes color over time as it reacts with the environment, creating beautiful shades that many collectors enjoy when they are natural and undisturbed. That century-old appearance is more than just color. It is evidence that the coin has quietly traveled through generations while preserving a piece of America's past. Demand for early wheat pennies has remained consistently strong because collectors strive to complete Lincoln cent collections spanning many decades. As more high-quality examples disappear into permanent collections, attractive survivors become increasingly difficult to locate on the open market. That continuing demand keeps interest alive among experienced numismatists as well as newcomers entering the hobby every year. And now comes the reveal. A 1910 wheat penny with no mint mark matching the old brown condition described for this video can have an estimated collector market value of around $26,700 under the scenario presented here. Actual sale prices depend on professional authentication, grading, originality, eye appeal, and the conditions of the marketplace at the time of sale, which is why collectors always recommend having potentially valuable coins evaluated before assigning a final value. If you ever discover a 1910 wheat penny, never rush to clean it in hopes of making it look newer. Natural surfaces are often preferred by collectors, while cleaning may reduce collector interest. Hold the coin only by its edges, place it in a protective holder, and compare it carefully with trusted references or seek a professional opinion if it appears unusually well preserved or has distinctive characteristics. The 1910 wheat penny reminds us that some of America's greatest collectible treasures don't sparkle like gold or silver. They quietly hide inside humble copper coins that many people overlook every single day. One overlooked penny could become the centerpiece of an impressive collection simply because someone recognized its history before everyone else did. And believe it or not, today's countdown is only getting started. The next wheat penny carries an even more fascinating story that has captured the attention of collectors for generations. Stay with Hidden Coin Millions because we bring you fresh, rare coin discoveries, hidden treasure stories, and exciting collector updates every single day. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Coin number 3. Now we're entering the part of today's countdown where many viewers begin checking their own coin collections. Coin number 3 is the 1955 wheat penny with the D mint mark, a coin that may not immediately catch the eye of an ordinary person but has earned lasting attention from collectors who appreciate its history, age, and place in one of America's most beloved coin series. Hidden among old change, inherited collections, and forgotten jars, this wheat penny continues to remind us that remarkable collectibles can still be found in unexpected places. The D Mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major U.S. mint facilities responsible for producing millions of coins for circulation. Although many 1955 with D wheat pennies were originally minted, decades of circulation have taken their toll. Many examples became heavily worn, damaged, cleaned, or simply disappeared over time. That is why collectors continue searching for attractive original pieces that still preserve their historic character. Like other wheat pennies of its era, the 1955 with D coin was struck from 95% copper with 5% tin and zinc, giving it the familiar bronze appearance that has become iconic among coin enthusiasts. The obverse proudly features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse displays the classic wheat ears framing the denomination. Even after many decades, this timeless design remains one of the most recognizable in American numismatic history. One of the most interesting characteristics of this particular coin is its natural brown layer and scattered spots, signs that reflect its long journey through circulation. Copper naturally changes over time as it reacts with its environment, creating different shades and patterns. When these surfaces remain original and have not been altered by harsh cleaning, many collectors appreciate them as part of the coin's authentic story. Every mark and every tone becomes evidence that this small cent has witnessed generations of American history. A circulated 1955 with D. Wheat Penny may appear ordinary to someone unfamiliar with coin collecting, but experienced collectors know that originality, clear design details, and overall eye appeal still matter. Strong lettering, visible wheat lines, a readable date, and an untouched appearance can all contribute to collector interest. These are the details that separate an ordinary old penny from one that deserves a closer inspection. The popularity of wheat pennies has never truly disappeared. Across the United States, collectors continue searching bankrolls, estate collections, flea markets, and family coin albums in hopes of uncovering overlooked examples. The excitement isn't just about finding an old penny. It's about discovering a genuine piece of American history that has survived for decades and still attracts attention in today's collecting community. Now comes the value reveal. A 1955 with D. Wheat Penny, matching the brown layer, spotted surfaces, and circulated condition described for this video, can have an estimated collector market value of around $7,300 under the scenario presented here. Actual prices depend on professional authentication, grading, originality, eye appeal, and real-time collector demand, so values can vary significantly from one example to another. If you happen to find a similar wheat penny, don't polish it or try to make it look newer. Preserving the coin in its original state is generally the best approach for collectible pieces. Store it safely in a protective holder, handle it only by the edges, and if it appears unusually well preserved or has unusual characteristics, consider having it examined by a professional grading service. The 1955 with D. Wheat Penny proves that even a circulated copper cent can carry more than just spending power. It carries decades of history, craftsmanship, and collector interest. Sometimes the most fascinating treasures aren't hidden in vaults or museums. They're quietly waiting inside old collections for someone to recognize what they truly are. And don't go anywhere, because coin number 4 is the grand finale of today's countdown. Its story, collector appeal, and remarkable history make it the perfect ending for today's video. Stay with Hidden Coin Millions, where we bring you fresh, rare coin discoveries, hidden treasure stories, and exciting collector updates every single day. The final coin is coming up next, and you definitely won't want to miss it. Coin number 4. We've reached the grand finale of today's countdown, and if you've stayed with me this far, you're about to discover why thousands of collectors across the United States never stop searching through old wheat pennies. Coin number 4 is the 1956 wheat penny with the D mint mark, a humble-looking 1-cent coin that has quietly earned a respected place in American numismatics. At first glance, it may appear to be nothing more than an old copper penny with age and wear, but experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. The 1956 with D. Wheat Penny was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the busiest minting facilities in the country during the mid-1950s. America was experiencing rapid growth after World War II, and millions of these cents entered everyday circulation. They passed through grocery stores, gas stations, family businesses, and countless hands across the nation. More than 6 decades later, every surviving coin carries a unique story from an era that has long become part of American history. Like other wheat pennies from this period, the 1956 with D was struck from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, creating the familiar bronze appearance collectors have admired for generations. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse proudly displays the famous twin wheat ears surrounding the denomination. This classic design represents one of the most recognizable chapters in the history of United States coinage, making wheat pennies a favorite among both new and experienced collectors. What makes this particular example especially interesting is its natural brown spots, darker edges, and almost fine condition. Those characteristics tell a story of genuine circulation and decades of preservation. Copper naturally changes over time, developing different shades depending on storage conditions and the environment. When those colors remain natural rather than artificially altered, many collectors appreciate them as part of the coin's authentic history. Every spot and every tone reflects a journey that began nearly 70 years ago. Although millions of 1,956 with D wheat pennies were originally struck, truly attractive survivors become harder to locate as years pass. Many coins were heavily worn, damaged, polished, or lost forever. Collectors carefully search for pieces that still display strong design details, readable lettering, original surfaces, and pleasing eye appeal. Even coins in circulated grades can generate interest when they have honest wear and attractive originality. The excitement surrounding wheat pennies continues because they connect collectors directly with America's past. Every year, enthusiasts search through old family collections, estate sales, antique shops, bank rolls, and forgotten coin jars, hoping to uncover a hidden piece of history. Sometimes, an ordinary-looking penny becomes the highlight of an entire collection simply because someone took the time to examine it closely instead of spending it without a second thought. Now it's time for today's final value reveal. A 1,956 with D wheat penny, matching the brown spots, darker edges, and almost fine condition described for this video, can have an estimated collector market value of around $8,500 under the scenario presented here. Actual prices vary depending on professional authentication, grading, originality, eye appeal, and collector demand at the time of sale, so individual results can differ significantly. If you discover a similar coin, remember one of the most important rules in coin collecting: never clean it. Cleaning can permanently affect a collectible coin's appeal. Instead, handle it only by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and if it appears especially well preserved or unusual, consider having it professionally evaluated before making any decisions. That brings us to the end of today's incredible wheat penny countdown. From the historic 1934 Philadelphia issue to the century-old 1910 Survivor, the collectible 1955 with D, and finally this fascinating 1956 with D wheat penny, every one of these coins reminds us that hidden treasures can still exist in the most ordinary places. The next time you receive change, open an old coin jar, or inherit a family collection, take a closer look. You may discover a piece of American history that countless others have overlooked. If you enjoyed today's rare coin journey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Hidden Coin Millions, and turn on the notification bell. We upload fresh, rare coin discoveries, hidden treasure stories, collector insights, and exciting US coin content every single day. Thank you for watching. And remember, your next unforgettable coin discovery could be waiting in your pocket right now. We'll see you in the next adventure on Hidden Coin Millions.